Dr. King, you warned us this afternoon about probable riots this summer in various places. Could you comment briefly on that?
Yes. While it's sad to say it and have to talk about riots, I say it's sad because I don't like to even think of riots and violence. I deplore violence so much. But realism and honesty impel me to admit that the conditions that brought riots into being last year and other summers are still existing in our communities all over the country. And there just hasn't been enough done to really give the kind of sense of progress and the sense of justice to the Negro to cause him to feel that we are making strides, particularly in the ghettos of the North, where the frustrations are so deep. And I'm afraid that as a result of the fact that nothing has been done, basically, and the frustrations and bitter feelings are still there, that violence will erupt in some of our northern ghettos.
Specifically, what northern ghetto?
Well, it's hard to say.
Many people would feel that your association or your feelings of dissent about the Vietnam War pretty much are equated with disloyalty. You have some strong feelings about that, don't you?
Yes, because I think it's an expression of the highest loyalty. I dissent because I love America, and I feel that we are on the wrong track, and we've made ourselves the most hated nation in the world. We've politically and morally isolated ourselves from our major allies on this war. And I think those of us who are dissenting are giving America the kind of leadership and the kind of words that we desperately need to hear now in order to save the nation.
Thank you very much, Dr. King, for your time.
And one can be totally wrong about predicting cities, but the federal government itself has cited some cities, and talking with leaders in communities, I have found great attention, possible explosive situations in cities like Chicago, where I've worked over the last year, New York. Cleveland is still a very difficult city. I hope we can avoid it as a result of a visit there yesterday. We did meet with many groups and tried to urge against any kind of violence. Los Angeles is still a hot spot, and then of course the Bay Area, great tensions in Oakland and San Francisco. So these are some of the cities that are very much caught in tension and possible explosions.
Mr. King, do people such as Adam Clayton Powell, Muhammad Ali, and others who are causing major questions in our country hurt your movement, hurt the civil rights movement? I shouldn't say your movement, but hurt the civil rights movement.
Well, I think it's so easy to single out individuals in the Negro community and think of them as individuals who hurt the movement. And I think if any individual hurts the civil rights movement, it only demonstrates that our country is still operating on racist presuppositions. You can't judge a whole people by any particular individual. Now, with reference to these particular individuals, while some people may disagree with them and some of their thoughts as well as action, in the case of Congressman Powell, I think we must see that they articulate the thinking of a number of people. Congressman Powell did become a symbol.
I think that's it. Fine.
And I think Congressman Powell articulates the feelings of many people about civil rights. He's certainly been a strong spokesman in Congress for civil rights and civil rights legislation. I think the unseating of Congressman Powell was protested by Negroes vigorously because Congress tended to single him out. And we saw it as a continuation of the double standard of justice, the fact that Congress not have a kind of uniform code of ethics applicable to all congressmen caused us to see that this was inspired by racist motivations. Senator Dodd isn't going to be unseated, and he's certainly been one who has engaged in misdeeds, nor is he going to be moved from committees that he heads. So we see that as racial. Now, on the question of Cassius Clay, his stand against the war, the draft, is something that we find among many young people today, white and Negro. And I think more and more they are going to revolt against fighting in this unjust war. So I think he, on that question, articulates the feelings of a number of people, although they wouldn't agree with his Muslim philosophy.